to another edition of the I'm Always Right Sports Podcast. I am your host, as always, the mouth of Michigan, Rob Mendeca. With me, as always, my co-host, the Merksel, Mike Merkel.
I'm here.
Missing in action. God forbid we see him 3 weeks in a row. The Whale Man, Kyle Wozniacki, missing in action once again. Where is Kyle at, anyway?
He has a party to attend.
Oh, graduation party?
Well, it's his own party.
It is actually his own. Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was just for Father's Day.
Well, they mix a lot of it together.
Alright, so for background news, we have a family party to go to later today. Happy Father's Day out there to every single
I think
dad
it's also Kyle's
listening
graduation party.
It's also Kyle's graduation party.
So he's helping set up for that.
We mentioned last week how he graduated, right? And if you missed episode 80, you missed that graduation money that, how he's the current I'm Always Right 24/7 champion.
We give him a little pay raise here. It's a slap in the behind and a good job.
There you go.
Just a good job.
Slap in the behind. Lots of stuff to go over today, Mike. Like usual, the first half of the show, it's going to be exclusively wrestling talk. So, if you are not a wrestling fan, I get it. You got two options. You can either hang with us, listen to it, maybe learn a little something, maybe get you intrigued, or skip to part 2 of this week's episode. You know it's going to be around the 20-25 minute mark, and you can jump in where we're going to be talking the new basketball GM for your Detroit Pistons, what the future of that team is going to look like, and we're also going to be talking some Madden 21 action as well. Lots of good stuff to talk about. I know Mike's excited. Look at that beautiful mug of his. You sigh as soon as I say that. It's like kill the bill, but it's fine. All right, let's jump right in though. Let's talk WWE Backlash. We talked about last week. We talked NXT in your house. This week we're talking NXT Backlash. WWE Backlash. Thoughts? Let's just start right off the top. Thoughts on the greatest match ever? Did it deliver for you at all? I'm interested to hear your take because I have my own take, but I want to hear yours first before I go in.
I thought it was actually quite solid.
Yeah. Okay.
That's about where I'll put it. Is quite solid. I don't think there were many problems with it. I think they definitely benefited from the editing and the weird camera angles. And
right, they like the guy in the ring.
And all stuff. It was kind of interesting to watch. I think the problem I have is I'm a big proponent of letting the audience think that it's the best ever instead of you telling everyone it is.
Yeah.
Because I think you set if you didn't say
it's unreal expectations because everybody has their own greatest match.
Exactly.
Ever.
So when you say this is going to be the greatest match ever, I'm sitting there going, well, it's not going to be, so now I'm automatically thinking it's worse than what it is.
It's gonna suck. Yeah.
I think if you would have just been like, these two are going to have a really good match.
We're going to see if Edge can really wrestle.
Yeah. I think I would have been like, wow, this was just an absolutely great match.
Yeah,
and it's probably one of the best matches that's put on WWE in a really long time, honestly. Right. But I think that you hyped it so high, I'm like, well, it's not as good as what they
I think it also got hurt, too, is that they had that Intercontinental title final match earlier in the week, too, where you're like, man, AJ and Daniel Bryan really tore the house down for being a TV show segment match, and then you've got to put this up there afterwards. It sucks, too, because it's hard to put that, because a lot of the time, when you think greatest matches ever, something else is on the line. There's some stakes involved, right? It's not just, well, can Edge wrestle? It's, think of Austin and Bret WrestleMania 13. It's a submission match. You had the double turn that came out of it. You were growing a star. Orton's a 14-time world champion. Edge's a 13-time world champion. You know what I mean? Or when you think of Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair for the world title, those 3 matches that they had in the late 80s, you're just like, okay, those for the NWA World Championship. It was the most important title in the world. So you had stakes involved with it that make it that much more, where in this case here, you're just watching this match and you go, all right, they're probably going to go out there and put on quite a hell of a show, but at the same time, you're like, so if Orton wins, cool. If Edge wins, cool. Yeah. Now, they were planning on going to doing it again at SummerSlam anyway. Yeah. So what do you know what I mean?
I think in terms of being of that proponent though, of not having anything on the line, just putting on a match.
Yeah.
I think it was
very good.
It was one of the better we're just gonna put on a match.
Yeah, this is just a rivalry match.
Just a rivalry match.
Yeah.
But in terms of you didn't have any stakes, so at that point I can't push it past even anything that New Japan does, because I just go, their stuff, everything's for titles, and everything's very meaningful.
Yeah, where there's a domino effect with everything.
Yeah, where this one was just just solid.
It was a good match. Like I said, I was surprised. I didn't know if you were going to be super critical of it or not. So I honestly thought it was a good match. I would say it teetered on great. I thought that the finishing couple sequences were nice.
Yeah. I think they did look at all kinds of wrestling and went, okay, so what do people like now?
Right.
And I think they really tried to incorporate
with the false finishes, the use of each other's finishers.
Yeah, they did a lot of that.
Right.
And I think
I thought they told a really nice story. I think Orton going over, obviously, because they were going to build the SummerSlam. It makes sense, right? Obviously, Edge getting hurt in the process kind of kiboshes that. I do think the one thing, though, I think we will look back on this match and go, this really rejuvenated Randy Orton. Yeah. I think Orton's been the most entertaining he's been in years, and I don't think that's really that hard of a qualm to make, you know what I mean? Thoughts on the rest of the show, though. The WWE title match, Drew McIntyre retains over Bobby Lashley with some weird interference-y kind of stuff with Lana at the end there. I don't know how you felt about it. I thought the match was fine. It was what it was. But I didn't like the fact that you needed Lana to go in there. I know you're trying to keep Lashley strong. Yeah. I get that. But McIntyre's been hotter than he's ever been. He beat Lesnar easily, right, at WrestleMania. He had a great match with Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank. I just didn't feel like they needed the interference to have McIntyre retain.
I agree. I don't think, at this point, I think McIntyre's at the point where it's just once someone beats him, it's going to be a big thing.
Yes.
But until, he can beat anyone and you don't look weak in a defeat.
Yes.
It's like, and we'll talk about Cole in a little bit, where I'm like, Cole can, if you lose to Cole, you're like, alright, you lost to the best.
Right, the best guy in the roster.
Singles NXT guy maybe ever.
Yep.
So it's like, you're not really taking a loss at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need the interference, but I get why they did the interference.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it goes 14 minutes. It is what it is. Thoughts on the other world title match on this card: Strowman versus Miz and Morrison. We talked about it last week. I was super against this match from the get-go. I don't like the fact that they are taking a great tag team, and honestly, for as much flack as I give the Miz, two very good singles individuals as well, and they just get steamrolled in 7 minutes to Strowman, and you just go, all right, I didn't expect them to win, but I also didn't want them to be in the situation to begin with. I think they're just kind of biding their time for Bray to come back and face Strowman. But at the same time, I didn't like the execution of this. I feel like the Universal title right now means less than it ever has, and and that's with Brock holding it hostage for a year. You know what I mean? Strowman's on TV every week, and I still don't give a crap about what he's doing as champion. Thoughts on that match in particular as well? Did it do any? It didn't do anything for me. I literally, I left your house during that match. I rewound, watched it back, and I just go, this is such a waste. You could have just completely cut this out, and the show would be absolutely no different.
Yeah, I mean, it was the match was fine, but it wasn't anything to
write home about.
Yeah, I think that's outside of the Orton match. I think most of the show is
yes.
I don't really need.
I'm looking at this card right now. Yeah,
most of it's very forgettable and not much happened.
Asuka, Nia Jax, we got why that happened because they had the rematch the following night. Sheamus versus Hardy, that's going to continue on, obviously. Yeah. I will throw a quick nod though to the triple threat tag women's match. I thought that match was really well done. Bayley and Sasha Banks retaining over Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross and the Iconics. I feel like the women's division, right, especially the tags, all of a sudden, wow, you've got 5-6 legitimate tag teams. You got a couple in NXT now with Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart. You've got these other 3 teams. You've got other people that could be possibly in it. And I think Bayley especially has been on fire since the heel turn, since she won it back from Charlotte. I think she's been phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to when her and Sasha finally break up and we get another hopefully really good classic match out of that. I think that's what they're building towards, is having kind of Bayley having the similar run that Cole's having, where it's okay, Bayley's going to keep retaining until we get a truly great match where we finally take it off of her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I think is a little bit in stark contrast to what they're doing on Raw in the women's division, where it's okay, Asuka's the champ. I'm glad Asuka's champion. But after that, you're okay, what is Charlotte can challenge her again? We got Nia. We've got it's a lather, rinse, repeat a little bit. So I'm liking that as well. Overall, give me a grade for this show before we move on to NXT AEW talk.
I'd give it pretty low.
Yeah, I give it like a D+.
Okay, I was gonna say like D+. So I was like, is that like fair?
No,
but now I'm thinking like
Edge and Orton is the only redeemable match on this card.
Yeah,
like that's like, I mean, it went 44 minutes, so like that's the only match though that like I looked at and I go, I'm really excited to see this match because I was like, all right, these are two Hall of Fame guys. Everything else on this card, you could have put all this stuff on Raw and SmackDown, and I would have went, okay, and when they did, McIntyre defeated against Lashley and MVP on Raw. Strowman did whatever, right? And, Asuka and Nia Jax happened again. Bayley and Sasha defended the tag titles again this week in NXT. And Andrade is doing his weird thing. It is what it is. So it's like, all that stuff we could have seen on Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, agreed. That's why I'll give it the same exact rating. Like, if I give NXT in your house a C, this is probably a D.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a fair. Yeah. We're not giving it a total fail, but you're not gonna miss a lot from this. Hopefully, as we get into SummerSlam time,
if Edge and Orton was on it, it'd probably be an F.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing else to redeem it. Like as much as I love Drew McIntyre, him and Bobby Lashley together, it's like it's fine, it's whatever, but. You give me Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Everyone watch Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, literally every time. There's not even a single time I'm picking the other one. All right, let's shift now from that. Let's go to the Wednesday Night Wars, if we can still call them that. NXT, AEW. I want to start off with NXT because I think they had the bigger news coming out of the week. You're going to have a massive, and I do mean a massive triple threat match coming this week. On Wednesday Night TV. So if you haven't listened to this before Wednesday night, I apologize. Can't predict the future. But Keith Lee defending the North American title against both Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano. Winner of that match then goes on to face Adam Cole 2 weeks from now. I think July 8th. Is that what it was? July 8th. Title versus title. Huge implications. Obviously, I texted you as soon as the announcement was made because I was super pumped about this match. Thoughts on this whole double title kind of event that they're trying to push here, the triple threat match, who do you have winning that, and what NXT is trying to do, because I really think this is going to, I think they're going to do a pretty good number for this next week's show.
Yeah, probably. I think they're going to try to hit this show hard because Fyter Fest is the 1st of July, so they know they're going to lose that one pretty hard.
Right.
So they're going to try to
that's why they gave it a buffer week to build it.
Yeah. So then the 8th one they have a chance at too.
Exactly.
I think the winner of the triple threat match will probably be Keith Lee. I also see Balor winning it, but I think Keith Lee will retain because why not? Then I think this whole feud is to get Cole something to do because right now Cole's kind of taken over everything. Yeah. So Cole probably wins both, and then from there, Karrion Kross is gonna destroy him in 3 minutes probably because that's kind of the kind of thing he's on. And then I don't know what they're gonna do from there. My only worry is that they kind of booked themselves into a slight corner with this, where it's once. Yes, you made the next 4 weeks.
Really, okay, I'm pumped, but after that you go, oh crap, now what?
Yeah, now what? Yeah. They didn't really think, or maybe I'm wrong, but maybe they didn't think that far ahead, and they were immediately we have to beat them at Fyter Fest because we want these ratings. Yeah. But then it's it's almost like AEW was we're going to have Fyter Fest here, so we know WWE's going to try to book the crap out of this and mess up for the future. It's in a weird spot there.
We talked about this off air too. As much as I am excited for this triple threat especially, I really hope that Keith Lee does not retain. Nothing against Keith Lee, I just don't, he doesn't do anything for me, he doesn't excite me. Every time he's defended the title, I think legitimately I've wanted him to lose the title. Against Damian Priest, I was on that. For Gargano, Dijakovic, all of them. I was I'd rather the other guy win this match. But I'm hoping Finn comes out of this. I hope that, if there is going to be the guy to knock off Cole, the only reason why I think, too, I'm excited for this, I'm hoping that means if Cole does, unfortunately, drop the championship, then that means the era goes to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. I'm assuming Raw, because SmackDown's pretty deep at the moment with some of their, top guys, especially with Riddle not being on the show. But in my mind, I go, okay, you take the title off Cole. Now all the era's lost all the titles. They've all won titles, so that you can't say they haven't done anything. They ran the roost for a while. Now it's time to get them onto a different show, and let's get some depth back on Raw. Give the middle upper card, give the tag team division an injection a little bit. Roddy can work with anybody. Cole's a main eventer as long as they don't do anything stupid. He could easily fit right in right now and be a main event guy. that's my only hope coming out of this, is that you wind up getting a little bit of rejuvenation from on the Raw and or SmackDown side, as well as be able to go, okay, we get these 4 new guys up, they're all really talented, let's have them now, let's see if we can sprinkle some of that magic that we had in NXT onto Raw, because I think a lot of times, I think the reason why they've done so well in NXT is because they haven't messed with them. You know what I mean? Like, they're just the Undisputed Era, they're a group, they're cohesive, and I think they will do great together if they don't separate them out and they just let them be themselves and do exactly what they're doing in NXT, right? Just they go out, have great matches, good promo, and we're done, and we're out the door. Nothing else needs to happen, you know what I mean? Speaking now of the AEW side, Cody retains the TNT Championship. AEW Tag Titles Fyter Fest is right around the corner. Looking forward to Fyter Fest, though. I mean, are you actively looking forward to this show? I mean, for me, I go, it is what it is. I kind of feel like it's like an NXT in your house kind of show, where I'm just kind of like, it's just kind of there for me. Outside of the cross match, we kind of figured everything is going to kind of stay status quo, and it did. Outside of Io Shirai winning the title, but like, we talked about maybe the tag title switching hands from from Hangman and Kenny to the Best Friends, which I'd be totally on board with. But I don't see Brian Cage winning the AEW championship. I don't see Hager beating Cody for the TNT title yet. I just feel like it's going to be a show that's just there. Yeah. How do you feel?
Well, it's interesting because it's not the same as In Your House. Yeah. Because it's just a weekly TV show. Like,
right.
It's not a full on. It's not like a whole thing. It's
like their Clash of Champions.
Yeah, it's like or they do like the homecoming show on the first day of the year or whatever. It's just like an Echo Bash at the beach or whatever they did. It was just like a pay-per-view style show that they're putting on TV. So in that case, I'm very excited because I'm like, it's just like, I don't have
we're going to get good TV.
Yeah. It's just going to be 2 hours of good TV, and I don't have to go out of my way on a Saturday night to go try to find it and watch it or something. It's just going to be for free on Wednesday at 8 o'clock like it is every single week. Absolutely. And we're getting 3-4 title matches out of it too, or whatever. Yep. I don't know how they're going to split into 2 weeks. I don't know if there's going to be another... If everything's going to be like, all right, so like the world title's here and then a new challenger's going to be the next week, or I don't know how all that's set up or anything.
For sure. We'll see that as it kind of fleshes itself out.
But it's good. I think the matches like Best Friends and Hangman and...
That's going to be phenomenal. They give them 25, 30 minutes. I think it's good. I think really blow it out.
I think you get Cody and Hager in the first week, which is going to be solid.
I think that, and then the tag title should be the main event of that first week. I think you get the women's match with Sheeta and what's the blonde girl's name? Penelope Ford for the women's title.
You get the world title. Probably another TNT title too.
Probably
against whoever else. Yeah. But I think you could set up for 2 pretty good quality. I would be interested to see. I don't think he'll lose it to Hager, but I'd be interested to see who the opponent is on the second.
Yeah, right. Where like, I think he just went through a war. Next week comes in, it's like, oh, now here comes Lance Archer again.
I was gonna say Lance Archer, or Darby Allin, or something. Yeah. Like MJF or whoever, one of those people that we think can beat Cody for it. Right. I think would be interesting to watch that second week, especially now that you know that the title for title match on NXT is happening. It's like, okay, we need a little.
Yeah, we need something else other than this world title match to get people to.
Because I think if you're thinking about rating wise, as long as you can win the first hour and a half, because you're not beating NXT in that last half hour main event, but if you can get a title change in the first hour or like a predicted title change maybe or something, you can maybe win a little bit of that too.
Right, for sure. You can at least split the audience. My only concern with this, and it's the same thing that we've been talking about, I think now for a couple weeks, is the fact that Moxley as world champion, it's hard to have a babyface as world champion for this long. It really is. I know people are like, well, he's been champ for a little while now, since what, March? February, right, was the show. So it's like, you look at it and just go, man, okay, Brian Cage wins 1-2 couple matches, he's the number 1 contender, but I don't legitimately feel that Brian Cage has a chance of winning this match, and I don't think that doesn't help things. It's like Brody Lee. Brody Lee's done nothing but beat up scrubs, and then he gets a world title shot, loses to Moxley.
I'm really secretly hoping that at the first weekend of Fyter Fest that Hangman turns and then
and we get somebody else,
and then you get him and Moxley, and then he beats
now
Moxley.
that's I'm excited. That I'd be excited for. Or Kenny, maybe Kenny does the
maybe Kenny does the heel turn or whatever.
Because like it's like the Shield thing where everyone thought Ambrose was going to turn, but Rollins turns.
But like whoever, I think one of them two from that tag team turn. I think that person's probably going to win the world title because you're going to be in the singles, and both of them are main event singles guys.
Yes.
And then you can get the heel as champion, then ride.
Right.
And then you could maybe ride the other ones. So say Hangman turns, Kenny can be the challenger, riding, do it or whatever.
For me,
I think you have a lot of options.
It's just hard because right now, because Moxley hasn't lost, and you're just like, okay, cool, but at the same time, all these quote unquote bigger stars that you're trying to set him up for, it's like the Hogan syndrome. Where it's like, okay, we're just gonna feed him to Hogan. We're gonna build the guy up just to feed him to Hogan. Build the guy up, feed him to Hogan. I feel like right now that's where they're at with Moxley, where you go, okay, Brody Lee is the new leader of the Dark Order. Awesome. And then he gets choked out by Moxley in his first real legitimate match for the title. Brian Cage he's had one match, right, so far?
A few.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, great, he's managed by Taz, love that presentation, cool, but if he loses to Moxley, you're like, all right, now what? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I do think you're right. I think that something needs to happen on night one of Fyter Fest to be like, okay, now we're off and rolling for the next pay-per-view that they have, whatever that winds up being. Whatever, you know. Interesting to say the least. It's an interesting time to be a fan for sure. It's something to keep an eye out on for sure. It's just one of those things where you're just like, I feel like right now we're like in that waiting. Like I'm anticipating things to happen. You know what I mean? But I'm like waiting to see how they do it. I'm just really hoping I'm not disappointed at the end. That's really like my point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because like when I go into some of these big matches, like this triple threat match, I am so behind anybody besides Keith Lee winning. So if Keith Lee wins, like, all right, you know what I mean? It just takes the wind out of me a little bit, you know? Now, we see a major, like if Brian Cage wins the world title, I'm like, all right, you know, let's see where this goes. I'm not necessarily know if I'll be happy about it, but I'll be tuning in to see what happens, I guess, you know?
And that's what they want us.
Yeah, exactly. Just go, what the heck just happened? Dang it. All right, next week I'll be there, you know? It is what it is for sure. As we get closer to, we'll probably be talking some New Japan Cup, probably, maybe next weekend or the week after, just depending on what happens there. But after the break, we're talking Pistons, hired a new GM. We can talk about that, whether Mike likes to hire or not. Turns out he doesn't really care. We don't know. And then we're also going to be talking some Madden 21 action as well. We talked about it last year when Madden 20 came out. Obviously, with the new trailer dropping last week, we got to talk about that as well. So all that good stuff after the break. Stick around. And welcome back to number 82, episode 82 of the I'm Always Right Sports Podcast. The road to 100 is on. We're so close, Mike. Feels like we've been doing this forever. It's crazy to think about. But we're on the road to 100. It's getting close to our 2-year anniversary, which will be obviously a great time. Hopefully we actually have like live sports. What are you getting emotional over here?
Yeah, I can't tell you why though.
You okay?
Yeah.
Is Dr. Will coming back to Big Brother? Did you find that out officially?
I hope so.
Lots of stuff though. Let's just jump right in here. The Pistons have a new general manager to work under, or with, I guess, Mr. Ed Stefanski, the president or advisor of basketball operations. I don't know what the heck his actual title is, but we do have a new general manager, and that man's name is Troy Weaver, is the new general manager of the Detroit Pistons. He is from the Oklahoma City Thunder. He agreed to a 4-year contract as of a couple days ago. He's the same guy who was part of the same brain trust that evaluated guys like Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Serge Ibaka. Obviously, the Thunder have done a really nice job of remaining competitive despite losing a Kevin Durant. They traded Harden away, but they lost Harden. They got rid of Ibaka at one point. They're the number what? Are they number 4 seed right now in the West?
They're the 6 seed.
6 seed with an old man Chris Paul and Steven Adams building around that. So you look at it and you just go, it is what it is. He's obviously going to be working with, Arn Tellem and Ed Stefanski, like we talked about. He's a guy that they wanted to actually interview a couple years ago, but the Thunder would not allow him to be made available for interviews. So clearly this is a guy that they really latched on to, somebody that they really thought does a great job of evaluating talent that maybe some people aren't seeing for whatever reason. I don't think anybody was looking at Russell Westbrook coming out of college and going, that's going to be a dominant point guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So looking at this, thoughts on him coming in. He's a former coach. He's been a former scout. He's done a lot of different things. And now he's got the keys of the kingdom, quote unquote, to the Detroit Pistons rebuild.
Yeah, well, when you think of Pistons, especially like younger people like me, all I see online is, well, you got Luke Kennard, but what you could have gotten was this guy.
Yeah, right.
And you see those like memes, or you see that all over the place if you follow anything Detroit Pistons wise, where it's like, oh, you had Andre Drummond, but you really could have had this guy.
Right. Or you drafted this guy and you could have had this
Kevin Durant or whatever. Or whatever the case was.
Who was it? It was Brandon. No, you could have had Kemba Walker, but say drafted Brandon Knight.
Or something like, you have all of those like different comparisons every single year. Or Giannis was right there for you, but instead you took this guy or whatever it is. So hopefully at the worst case scenario, hopefully this guy comes in and is able to help fix that problem and be able to help scout better and maybe pick guys who have more of a chance at being more successful. I think our last couple picks, as in like the Sekus, I actually don't mind Luke Kennard.
Yeah,
I think we've had
his own.
Christian Wood. I think we've had a lot of guys recently that have been really good. Yeah. So hopefully, if he can keep that up and keep going, maybe he can find the needle in the haystack go, oh, there's the next Giannis Antetokounmpo, here's the next Kawhi Leonard in the second round. Well, hopefully you can find one of those pieces for us to really help take this off to another level.
I think something that really attracted him as well, that the Pistons were attracted to Weaver in particular, is the fact that Oklahoma City's not a big market. You know what I mean? So it's hard to get guys like all these guys that we've talked about, even when Durant was there, Paul George, they had to swing trades for these guys or draft them and develop them rather than, you don't see big name free agents go, I'm going to go sign to Oklahoma City. It ain't happening. Even when they were good, you weren't getting guys that were like, no, I want to go there. No one's going to the Thunder willingly. You know what I mean? Like, and they have a pretty decent coach in Billy Donovan, back-to-back national championships in college. I really like the fact that they're getting a guy, similar to what the Red Wings did with Eisenberg. It's like, we just need a guy who can evaluate talent and can truly evaluate it, And I think that's something that we're all looking for in our general managers. Is really, that's your job, is how do we get out of this funk? I think the Tigers, for as much crap as Al Avila's gotten the past couple years, Tariq Skubal, Matt Manning, Casey Mize, Alex Faedo, Riley Green, now
Tokelson.
Yeah, whateverson, right? You look at all those guys and go, wow, maybe not 2020, 2021, 2022, we're going to start seeing the fruits of this build. And I think because the Pistons have officially now kind of embraced that rebuild, with Dwayne Casey at the helm, which I think, I will stand by this, I think Dwayne Casey is a very good coach. I think he's a guy that is definitely somebody who can take them to another level. I really like this hire. I really do. Yeah. I think it's a guy where they've gotten away from the coach / GM Van Gundy thing, right? They're willing to tear it down. They've got a couple guys they can build around, Christian Wood, Kennard, Sekou, along with a veteran guy like Blake Griffin, who is nearing the end of his contract anyway in the next 2 years. You're looking at this Detroit Pistons team and you go, man, they hit on 1-2 draft picks. We're right back in the thick of it in the East. You know what I mean? Maybe not championship contenders yet, but definitely at a point where you can go, $30 million of cap space, hopefully a high draft pick, right? Hopefully maybe somebody falls to us that they really fall in love with, and now we're off and running.
Yeah, I think you're also going to benefit because I think the teams in the East are not necessarily getting older, but the guys, like you look at like someone like a Brooklyn Nets, where in like 2 or 3 years, you're going to have KD and Kyrie, but they're going to disband after 2 years. And you look at like Giannis might leave the Bucks, and you have the Sixers, you don't really know what they are.
That could get blown off this
offseason where Ben Simmons gets traded or Embiid leaves or whatever. And so I think outside of maybe Boston, who has a very young core who's very solid, I think there's a lot of teams in the next 2-3 years.
There's a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, there's a lot. I'll add Toronto in there because I think
Toronto's getting old.
Toronto's getting old, but you also have Pascal Siakam and stuff that's really going to be centerpieces. I think them and Boston are going to be the two strong teams.
Right, for sure.
And if Giannis stays, obviously. Right. But I think you can have a legit shot at being one of those top 6 teams going forward if everything starts hitting right.
Exactly. And unfortunately, we didn't really get to see the vision that Stefanski and Dwayne Casey had this year because Blake was hurt pretty much immediately. Yeah. You didn't get to see Reggie back, so Reggie's gone, right? You didn't get to see what this... Because we talked about it. I actually liked this team going into the season. I didn't think they were like...
Yeah.
an NBA championship. But I was like, they could definitely make a playoff.
That's what I mean. I think I was at the point too where I was like, I like the team makeup enough,
right.
And I was like, they could probably make a 7 or 8 seed,
right.
But at that point, I'm like, but that's your ceiling, though.
Yeah, exactly.
And if that's going to be your ceiling as a 7 or 8,
then you
might as well just tear it down. Yeah,
exactly.
So I was okay getting rid of everything, and I was like, I like the vision of this season, but at the same time, I was like, but you're not really going to get much higher.
No, and
I think with this higher, I think you do have potential being a number 5, number 4.
Yep. And really putting together a team of young core guys, right? I think how his, and I know it's weird to say he's been on the job for 72 hours, but with the amount, they never had this much cap space in a long time. It's been years since they've had this amount of cap space. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, if they can re-sign Christian Wood, right, which I think is probably going to be their number one priority, right? You got Derrick Rose still here for another year. I think they need to get another point guard for sure to help kind of lead this transition over. I think they like Bruce Brown. I think they like Sekou. Kennard is still here. They have pieces that are young enough to really start to grow and flourish. This $30 million in cap, however they decide to allocate it, whether they save it, the next 2 off seasons are going to be massive for this team, because when you look at it and you go, the last time they had this kind of money, they went and spent it on Gordon and Charlie Villanueva, and that was an epic disaster. You know what I mean? And you just go, what the hell just happened?
I think you're on a good trajectory where, say, this offseason, if you can get lucky and land the Ball brother, is it LaMelo or LiAngelo? One of the two. I think LaMelo is going into the draft.
LiAngelo is the middle one in between Lonzo and LaMelo. Yeah.
So LaMelo's coming out. If somehow you can pull maybe like a LaMelo or something.
4 or 5.
At like 4 or 5, that would be awesome. But then you're really you can develop all of next year. You get all these guys playing time.
Yes.
And then the 2021 free agency is when
stacked.
Everyone's getting dropped in. And with $30 million in cap, you
plus
really
more probably.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
You could just go. We just need that one guy. Like
if you could land that one big fish, to be like
Jimmy Butler or that like solid piece there
to go. He knows how to win, and he's going to bring everybody else to
him. And then you have that with a developed Christian Wood and Sekou Doumbouya and Luke Kennard on the corner. I think you can have a really solid team. Optimistically looking in like 2 years.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's, what I mean, it's allocating the money correctly and not overpaying for, you know what I mean? Like everyone was like, why did they get rid of Drummond for peanuts? This is why.
Yes.
This is why right now, because instead of that $18-20 million player option he's probably going to take in Cleveland, now it's like, hey, we don't got to deal with that
we
anymore.
Can get Jimmy Butler
Brandon Knight's gone. All these other scrubs that they traded for, they're all gone. They all knew why they were coming to Detroit. It wasn't to win. It was to play basketball until the end of the season. So you've got all these things going. I think Blake Griffin can still be effective for the next couple of years, right? It is what it is.
I think Blake Griffin needs to be either 2 or 3.
Yes.
But if he's a 2 or 3, I'm okay with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I really, really, really like, and I'm appreciative of the fact that it's kind of similar to the Red Wings, where Yzerman just went, we're going to be bad. Yeah. So just accept that we're going to be bad and hope that this will be worth it in the end. Yeah. They finally made the decision to do it.
And let's not I'm not the Pistons are not unwatchable bad.
No.
They're bad.
No.
But they're not I can't.
There's things redeemed, but because I think that
they have the young core that
people you're like, man, Sekou was 19.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Christian was 22.
6 years older than him. Yeah. That's crazy, So when you look at it and you go, all right, Kennard wasn't healthy. Blake wasn't healthy. Drummond was what he was, I guess. Reggie wasn't healthy. You had a lot of pieces where you're like, we're counting on, these are all contributing guys, that's 60 points of basketball we're missing off of our team now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Derrick Rose was a godsend, because it's like, holy crap, we haven't seen this Derrick Rose in years. So with that being said, I think they just need to be smart and be calculated. And I think a fan base, I don't know if I speak for everybody, but for me, even say Giannis is a free agent in 2 years from now, right? And they try to land Giannis, knowing full well they're not going to land Giannis. But I can appreciate the fact that they put themselves in a position to go, hey, we got max contract money. We'll give you the house to come here. And even if he turns them down and go to Golden State or wherever, at least I know that my team had the ability to sign him, to had the financial flexibility, and a team that was theoretically built to be ready for a guy to go, maybe? Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that's all you can ask for out of the next couple seasons. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
I really feel like we're about to start the Rick Carlisle era all over again. Good, solid coach, starting to build this team back up to get to a contender. Maybe Dwayne Casey's the guy to take us all the way. I don't know, but
I think my worry is the second you get the team that you think can win the title. I don't know if Casey's the guy that's going to get you all the way there.
Maybe not, and maybe that's what I'm saying. Rick Carlisle, because Rick Carlisle was the guy that's like, you had all these pieces, and he just, for whatever reason, you couldn't get over the hump. You could bring Larry Brown in, and now he's the guy.
I think where Dwayne Casey's great developing, but you saw in Toronto where they could be a 1 seed with DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, Gasol. You have all these pieces there, and it's like, but you just can't get over that hump.
Right.
Especially if Giannis is going to be in the East, it's going to take a great coaching effort to really get this team over the hump.
Absolutely.
If that is eventually what's going to be. And
so for sure.
I don't know if he's going to be the guy to get us over there.
Yeah, right. You know, at the same, like I said, right now I'm looking at it and I go, he's going to develop the guys. He's not going anywhere.
No, like right now, the next 2 years, perfectly fine with what he's got going for us.
Exactly.
And he might even be sound enough to get us into a semis if we're good enough at that point. But I'm just like, when you're going up against like the Giannis's and stuff, or the Jason Tatums in 2 or 3 years, I'm like, those are gonna be guys where you're gonna need a coach to really help get the game plan to go over.
Absolutely, and you know what I mean. But I like where this team is at. I know it's hard to see through it right now, but if you have any sort of hope that some of the stuff that you'd see flashes, like Sekua's debut, right? He goes for a double-double, and you're like, okay, you know, you see Kennard, the offensive ability that we were hoping to see right away. We're finally starting to see it. I don't want to see another Henry Ellenson pick. That's my thing. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm hoping that he comes in so you're not
able to understand, like, no, this guy's got like a low floor and a low ceiling. No, we need a guy that's like, no, his ceiling is here. He only may be here, but he can get to here.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping that you're going to get with him as the GM is maybe pulling that Giannis or pulling that Russell Westbrook out of the crop of guys.
Yes.
Instead of pulling we got Brandon Knight instead of Kemba Walker. I want more of the.
Yeah, we didn't get Devin. Yeah, we didn't get.
We didn't get Devin Booker. We got Luke Kennard.
Right.
Yeah. Instead of Donovan Mitchell or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So you got to have some faith in it. I'm not gonna judge this guy and tell him he's dead man walking already because, like I said, I like what they've done so far. They've never been in a better financial situation than they have been in the past 5 years. They don't have a gross ass hanging contract over. You know, like if we don't ever have another Josh Smith type of situation, I think we'll all be pretty freaking pleased. Yes. You know what I mean? So these kinds of things where you just go, okay, let's look through the vision here. We're trying to get younger. They know their window is not now anyway. This is the LA times for the next couple seasons. Let's appreciate the fact that we're going to see a young basketball team hopefully get built here in the Motor City to where we have a 5, 6, 7 year window where we're legitimate contenders. That's really the goal of the whole thing. So it's extremely exciting for sure. That's probably the biggest news going on in Detroit right now. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody else is talking about until the Lions start up again or we get basketball starting.
Well, the problem if you're going to talk Detroit Central, no Detroit team is going unless
the Tigers start
out or before that. But until the NFL season starts, there's no Detroit sports that will be playing.
No, honestly, that's
the fall.
That's okay. We only need so much heartbreak at one point in time. But, all right, let's shift our focus here. Last topic of the day today. Let's talk some Madden NFL footy balls. Okay. Madden 21 dropping Lamar Jackson, the cover athlete.
Yes. Will he get the Madden curse?
I don't know. Who was the guy last year? Mahomes was? No, that didn't work out so well. I'll do it. But maybe it's like the reverse now. Everyone's clamoring to be the Madden cover guy because like Baltimore wins the Super Bowl or something.
Yeah, maybe.
It'll be crazy.
Yeah, good chance.
Kelvin definitely broke that, by the way. He's the guy who like broke the Madden curse. Because he had a pretty good year there.
Well, it was funny because he broke it, but then everyone after him all the way up until Mahomes has had bad years after that. So.
That's true. But nonetheless, right, Madden 21 dropping. Both, even Kyle, who's not here today,
he dabbles in it.
Yeah, we all dabble a little bit. He's more into the MUT stuff than I think either one of us.
Well, me and him on opening week, we go pretty hard into the MUT stuff.
Yeah.
And then we play for like 4 months, and then we usually go into regs right after that.
Right. Yeah. See, I tried, but I just don't have the time. Or the bandwidth, quite frankly, to do it. But nonetheless, it's still, it's the best football game out there. It's the only football game out there right now, quite frankly. But your thoughts, we saw the trailer, this new running AI adaptability thing. I've heard some stuff now about how when you're playing, like the computer now, I believe, the computer is able to catch your tendencies better and is able to understand that and go, okay, you run on 3rd and 15, you run this gun bunch 4 verticals every play kind of thing. So we're going to be prepared for that. Your thoughts on some of the improvements that they made? We haven't seen a ton of gameplay yet, obviously. This is very preliminary talks. We know when it's dropping, obviously, we'll obviously get it as soon as it's available for the pre-order and what have you. But
it's the 13th or the 5th?
Of what?
August.
August, right?
August 5th,
That's what I thought.
13th.
Yeah, something like that.
It's like the first weekend or two in August.
But your thoughts on the new Madden, X Factor's obviously still a thing. We saw that.
Yeah, they're adding a few more.
Yeah, which will be nice, right? I wish the X Factors would be a little more balanced across the teams.
I will say so. They're adding, in addition to the running controls, of being able to shift, and I think you're going to be able to use the analog stick to do the moves instead of pressing usually
Y for stiff arm.
Yeah, like circle or spin or
depending on what console you play.
Yeah,
right?
Triangle or
Y.
It would be stiff arm or whatever. You're going to be able to use moves on the analog stick. Not the left stick's obviously the one you move with. The right stick, the analog stick, is the one that you're going to be able to.
Instead of just juking, you can be swinging around. That's a spin or
whatever.
Right.
So you're going to have that on defense. They're going to have more. Instead of just clicking a button to try to win a battle, you can use the stick move. And you can so if you're engaged, they had a little press conference with it. Yeah. So basically, the defense end, you have 4 moves.
Right.
It's like the spin,
juke, power rush,
or whatever.
Right.
But the offensive lineman, once you start doing a move, if you do it multiple times in a row, they actually know, that's coming. Yeah. So they start blocking it better.
Because I think this year right now you just get you only have one option. It's it's either going to be a finesse or a power move.
I think, and so they're editing that because I think they're trying to nerf the defense ends, because I think what it is right now it's J.J. Watt saying just kind of blows by the guy every single time with the same move. Now he's not going to be able.
Especially if it's an X Factor. Yeah. DeMarcus Lawrence ruins me.
Yeah. Now you can't just blow by with the same move, because then the offensive lineman might take another step out and try to stop the swing move. So now he's got to spin inside or something, which is going to make it a little more entertaining in that aspect.
Yeah, for
sure. Face of the franchise is getting a lift. You're going to be able to play a couple games in high school, and you're playing 2 years of Final Four.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So you play 2 or 3
It's not
games.
the same. It's not the continuation of the Devin guy, right? It's just
it's what it was last year. It's you create your own guy or whatever. So what it's going to be is you play in high school for 2 or 3 games. Depending on how good you do in the high school games, you're going to have choices between top D1 schools and middle D1 schools. So if you throw for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, you're going to have Alabama, Oklahoma, and Clemson.
Right.
If you're good but not great or whatever, you go to Wisconsin and stuff. Or whatever the case may be. Right. And then you're going to go to the Final Four and have 2 years of Final Four to try to go win at. Your junior and senior year, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be then at that point. And then you're going to go to the NFL and do your journey there. So they're adding a little bit more to face as a face of the franchise or a story mode.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing's been announced with franchise mode yet. I'm assuming until the PS5 comes out, they won't do much with any of the other modes.
No.
Or the graphics.
No, I think KO mode will be out of beta probably.
Yeah, it'll just be a move. It'll just be another mode that's not in the game. It won't be beta or whatever.
Yes.
But I don't think you're going to see any kind of enhanced gameplay or anything added specifically to the game.
I don't think when you look at these 2 games side by side, I don't think you're going to see a ton of wow, the graphics are just holy, wow.
You only see a little bit of.
Yeah, it'll just be new because it's going to look refreshed. You know what I mean? Every year.
New rosters.
Yeah, exactly. now, Lions have Ron Harmon.
Yeah.
Cool,
what I would want to see is a more complex franchise mode, which I think they tried to do last year with adding scenarios your guy's hurt, your guy's angry, he wants to trade and stuff.
Right, exactly. Or this guy's been killing it because he had 3 sacks this game. Can you get his superstar development trade?
Yeah, or whatever. So you have that in franchise mode. I think they're going to either keep that or expand upon it, but I wouldn't expect to see that until you get the PS5 version.
Yes.
Maybe you'll get
Xbox.
Or Xbox One or Xbox X Series or whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
You see those
one thing I do wish that they would put in there, and it's something I missed from the 2K days, is I just want to be able to create a team. I just want to be able to instead of having to move the team and do all this other stuff, I just want to be able to create a team and import them into the league, right? Even if it's random people, they're just they're not actual real players.
Yeah.
Just be able to like the NBA, NBA 2K does, right? Where you can create your logo, create everything, and just put hey, here you go.
I think the NFL
or be an expansion team.
I was gonna say I think the NFL system. I think unless you were able to delete a team and add them in,
that's fine.
I think because I think the scheduling. Is if you added a 5th team to the NFC North, then it's like how are you gonna get all those schedules?
Right. Yeah, no,
so you'd have to delete like the Bears or whatever.
That's fine, and I'm okay with taking a team out. Even take Jacksonville. See you. Goodbye. Whatever the case may be, but like I do wish that would be just one other thing. I think that. For people like, because I play online some, but I don't play online like all the time necessarily. Like I like just building a franchise. I like drafting. I like doing those kinds of things. So it's like it's fun just to be able to like, just like this is my own separate little world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I have my own guys. I have my own thing. This is just a brand new expansion team kind of thing. So just something else I would wish that they would maybe get more creative with. A little bit. But yeah, I think we'll obviously have the game for sure. I'm sure a lot of you guys who are listening to the show right now will also probably buy the game opening week or weekend or whenever you are time is allotted for you. But I do. The only thing I'm nervous about is I just hope that the nerf game or the run game has been nerfed out just a little bit because right now it's just like. There's just
every year it's
either passing or it's running.
Yeah, 2 years ago it was a killer. You had no zone defense and it was all passing. Last year it was all man defense and it was like more 50-50.
Right.
This year it's run. Like it's hard to nerf both sides. Like because the second you nerf running, like okay, we're gonna make everyone smarter on the offensive line or whatever, then it's like, but the passing game is just going to open wide open then. It's hard to nerf both at the same time and keep them equal.
I'm hoping that I know some people complained about the AI thing changing, right? What's like, well, is this going to happen in regs too? Like, if we're playing online against each other and like my computer is just destroying you, I'm not even doing anything, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people in the Madden community go, if I'm playing online against somebody, I almost should never be able to get intercepted by the computer. It almost has to be a user, which I don't necessarily agree with, but at the same time, I do understand their point of like, I'm already competing against you and you're doing stuff that the computer wouldn't normally. Now I also have to compete against the computer.
If I had my way, I just want the computers to be a little smarter. I just wish there wasn't things where like I almost glitched out. Well, no, not even that, but like, and to get into a very deep Madden talk for a second here, I guess when you have double crossing routes and you're in man defense, I feel like the smart thing would do is, hey, switch off, and then like have both linebackers just run the same instead of just running the whole
each other.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's like in Madden, like you can't control both, so like the one guy's just gonna continue following his.
You never will have enough time to make enough the normal Madden users. Some people who are like crazy, the professionals, but there's the amount of adjustments that have to be made on an individual play to combat that. Like, okay, I gotta put this safety on this man over here, then this safety on this man, and you have to anticipate that's what they're gonna do. And while you're shifted, they're just running straight down the field.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, I just wish AIs would be a little smarter in the sense it's like I hope like. Okay, like they're crossing. It's like okay, stay there. We're still in man, but just take the man that's crossing next to you.
You went into my zone, so now you're mine. It's a little bit of a both. It's a hybrid,
or whatever. But
for sure, it's gonna be interesting.
Just make them smarter.
Yeah, just help brother out every once in a while. What we're asking for, but it's gonna be interesting for sure. I'm excited for it. It'll be fun. It's always nice just to see updated rosters. It always just makes you feel excited. You're like, oh man, this is what the teams could possibly look like, and then you realize, well, the Lions are still slow. It's great.
They're still 5'11", and they still only are 89 speed, so they can't get any separation.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is pretty much real life, but it's fine.
Yeah. I wish they would just make like the Stafford better, because he fits those balls and like you still
his throw power is like 99.
Second best quarterback in the league before he got hurt last year, and yet he's 79 overall. I'm like. Okay, it's fine.
Because you missed half the year, that's fine.
It just irks me though. I'm just like, son of a, it's like, it's whatever. It's fine, whatever. I ain't agree about it. Nonetheless, but that's going to be it for this week's show, guys. Next week, we'll be back. I don't know what the heck we're going to be talking about, quite frankly. It's going to be an interesting week. Hopefully something happens. Hopefully we get some confirmation on the baseball front. Hopefully know whether or not we have baseball or not this year. We'll be talking a lot of other different stuff for sure. As always, it'll have to just be a surprise, but that's going to be it for this week's show. For the Missing Whale Man, for the Merc Zone, I'm the Mouth of Michigan, and we will see you guys, as always, next time.